Hurricane Katrina is now designated a Category 5 hurricane. We cannot stress enough the danger this hurricane poses to Gulf Coast communities. I urge all citizens to put their own safety and the safety of their families first by moving to safe ground.
It was unbelievable, the devastation. Everything was gone. It was more than anything I could ever have imagined.
It will be years before the communities along the coast are rebuilt. And when we're not in the media, our natural inclination is that everything's fixed and life is back to normal and it's okay and we're done with this, we can move on to some other project that we need to pay attention to.
Well, the hurricane came in August, and my wife, Diane, had taken a trip to Pass Christian with our church, St. Raphael's. Saw the devastation, spent the week there, and came back, and it pretty much was a life-changing situation for her. At that same time that she was coming back into Naperville, the city of Naperville came up with the idea that we could help by building homes, and we formed a community involvement program called Naperville Responds. And the goal of Naperville Responds, or the mission statement, was to help a city. The city we selected, as it turned out to be, was the same city that Diane visited, Pass Christian, Mississippi.
When we created Naperville Responds, we decided that we would try to rebuild 20 homes for people in Pass Christian, Mississippi, whose homes were destroyed and who don't really have any other means of rebuilding their homes. And in the process, we found out that we're really not just rebuilding their homes, we're rebuilding the hope for the people in Pass Christian.
I'm Pastor Mary Francis. I'm pastor at Joyful Spirit Lutheran Church, and I got involved with Naperville Responds last fall. I had taken a group from my church down to the Gulf Coast to do some relief work and heard about Naperville Responds, and the mayor had heard that I had been down and asked if I would come to the meetings and participate in whatever way possible. And of course, once you start showing up. As soon as we heard about the hurricane, I invited folks from my church to go down. I said, there's work to be done here, and we're God's hands and feet, let's go. And I had 10 people who signed up. And we took campers, 2 campers, 10 people, all our own food, all our own water, and set up camp in the back of a Lutheran church in Long Beach. It was quite an experience. On our way down, we planned to arrive in daylight. I knew that there had been so much devastation. I didn't want to just drive through in the dark and show up in the middle of it. So we parked in a rest stop and slept for a while, and we stopped outside of Jackson for coffee at this little donut shop. And the people could see from our t-shirts and our badges that we were headed down, and the woman behind the counter said, have you been down? Do you know what you're going into? And we said, no, this is our first trip. And she said, well, God bless you. You just don't know what you're in for.
It's frustrating to see how slowly the progress is, because I know I've spoken with people who've been there since I was there, and it doesn't sound like a whole lot has changed. There's so much red tape, there's so much haggling with insurance companies, and our goal is to try to cut through all that so that they can get their homes, because quite honestly, the kids, the elderly, the average resident doesn't really care about the red tape. They just want to get back to living their lives in as normal a way as they can.
For us to get to a point where everyone who had an unmet need, and all of the volunteer agencies and all of the ways that funding comes in to fund materials for building homes or rebuilding homes, for everyone to get back into an affordable place somewhere near pre-Katrina standards. The projection is 12 years. And so even though we're not on Good Morning America very often anymore, or the overwhelming amount of news that comes out of the Katrina disaster is what happened in New Orleans, and it was significant, I will say that, but it was a completely different kind of destruction. We're still not fixed. We still have hundreds and hundreds of families who don't have a home to live in.
10 for 20 is an opportunity for each of us to throw that one starfish back into the sea. It's an opportunity for each of us here in Naperville to make a huge difference in the lives of people down in the Mississippi Gulf area. You know, when we started this project, I think we thought that it was going to be so quick. We are a city of abundance, and it would take no time at all to raise a couple of $1 million and build these homes. And instead, just like the rebuilding down in the Gulf, it has been a slow process. It's taken us a lot longer than we thought it would. But each dollar, each 5, each 10, each 100, whatever people can give, makes a huge difference in the lives of those folks down there. And they know then that they haven't been forgotten. And that's very important.
I would encourage people that see this video to donate their money, donate their time as well, to go down and help rebuild homes, to construct new homes and rebuild that community. The community has a spirit of reconstruction. They want to rebuild. They're not ready to walk away. It's their home. They've lived there all their lives. Their families grew up there. They want to stay. We have to help them stay.
I could talk all day about and I spoke about this in my message in worship yesterday, but the signs of hope. A flock of pelicans flying over the ocean is a phenomenal sign of hope for me. The handful of shrimp boats in the harbor, the ones that survived the storm, are a sign of hope. The new houses being built are a sign of hope. The fact that the oak trees now have leaves on them is a sign of hope. The rebuilt playground at the park, done by 500 and some odd citizens and a volunteer group that funded it, is a great sign of hope, because now if I want to take my daughter to go play at the park, there's something for her to do, rather than just look at what used to not be there.
Naperville Responds is committed to improving the quality of life of Pass Christian citizens. 100% of all proceeds will be applied toward rebuilding. Your donation to Naperville Responds will bring renewed hope to a community devastated by Hurricane Katrina. We intend not only to rebuild homes, but to rebuild lives and the community they once enjoyed.
To all of you out there, Pass Christian are our brothers and sisters, and God loves them as much as He loves us. And this is a chance for us to reach out and to gather together our family in the United States and to help them. And I know God will bless each of you as you seek to find what He wants you to do. Thank you.